For the past couple of years, I struggle with social anxiety, and chances are you probably too. Social anxiety doesn't only apply to introverts, but it could also apply to extroverts. Though on paper it sounds unlikely, but it's very true. In the beginning, I specifically stated for the past couple of years, I struggled with social anxiety, and there's a reason for that. But before I get into my side of the story, I think it's very important you remember where your anxiety all started. Whether it started after you swapped schools, when you moved states, or even if you had it your whole entire life, understanding where it came from and when it started could help you build a foundation of understanding, an understanding of why it began. And it's a great starting point to look at how much has changed. And again, don't think everyone has an exact start point, because that's not always the case. A lot of people start off with it since birth. Maybe as a kid you were never outgoing or you didn't have anyone to talk to. And that's okay. At least in your mind, you know when it started. But to those who slowly grew with anxiety and didn't know when their start point was, I'll tell you my story and maybe it will help you. For context, my anxiety began after 2020, the COVID pandemic. Pre-COVID, I was the most outgoing kid you could talk to. I mean, I could talk to anyone no matter who it was. I didn't care about what others thought, whether I did something embarrassing or not. Little me couldn't care less. And in your head, you're probably thinking, well, obviously you didn't care. You were just a kid. No, it's because as a kid, I didn't have social anxiety. Legit, in 5th grade, I heard some random kids talk about Fortnite. And keep in mind, I'm across the room from them, but still I walked towards them and asked if they played and if they wanted to add me. I didn't care what they thought. Honestly, that type of idea never passed my mind. But once COVID started, I was one of those geeks who thought, ooh, let's be this cool, mysterious guy who barely talks. It would be so badass. And since COVID distanced me from people, it gave me more time to change, and slowly I just lost my outgoingness. With losing that, it was easier to develop social anxiety. But the best part of this story is the same people I made friends with in 5th grade are still some of the best friends I have to this day. And I'm so thankful I didn't have anxiety back then, because oh my god, my life right now would be so much different. I tried to imagine how my life would be if it weren't for those friends. And it's honestly not great. I'll probably get more into depth about it in another video, naming it something like how COVID changed my life. But for the sake of this video, I'll stop there. So now you know an example of when anxiety can start. But even if you can't pinpoint when it started, that's okay. Just pay attention to what I'm about to say next, because that's what really matters. Social anxiety is the fear of being judged or negatively seen by others. This can be something like starting a convo with a cashier, presenting a slideshow, or even just walking past someone. If you fear their judgment on a daily basis, then chances are you probably have social anxiety. But there are also some subcategories like conversational and interaction anxiety. And if you want me to create a video on that, then subscribe, because I most likely will. But do you know the honest truth about anxiety? Nobody cares. That's really it. Nobody truly cares about what happens or happened. There's a good chance you might have heard that before, but it's easy to believe that it's BS. So I'll make it easier for you. Has anyone, whether it's someone you know or even a random person walking past you, complimented you? Chances are it happened at least once in your life. But imagine that walking situation where someone walks past you. You're walking home, someone's walked past you and says, "Hey, I like your hair, it looks very nice." You say thank you and you continue walking. You don't think about it much. You probably also feel good about it. Now I want you to flip the script and imagine you're walking past someone with nice hair. Someone with social anxiety will probably think in their mind that the other person has nice hair, but they won't say it because of thoughts like, what if the stranger thinks I'm weird? The whole point of why I'm saying this is because when you were getting the compliments, you didn't think much of it. You didn't think it was weird, and you actually enjoyed the acknowledgement. But once the roles reversed, you realize how naive it was to be afraid. The person who complimented you never thought it through. They don't have thoughts like, what will they say back, or is it weird to randomly talk to someone? Those are all questions people with social anxiety ask themselves. They make everything so difficult, even if it's something so basic. They fear what the other person might think, but truthfully, they don't care. Well, not that they won't care. I mean, I feel like anybody would appreciate a compliment. But what I mean is, they're not going to criticize you for starting up a convo. I do want to be realistic and say there will always be someone who criticizes you. And if they do, don't worry about it. It shouldn't be a thought you consistently think of. You have to leave things be, and you can't do anything about it. Plus, you have billions of other people to talk to that would greatly appreciate hanging out with you. So don't be discouraged so easily. But now for the big question, how do you lose your social anxiety? Well, how I lost mine was kind of simple. I basically started talking to more people. This is the same thing as practicing a sport, and once you start having conversations, the anxiety will slowly go away. Not saying this practice will help everyone because it won't, but if you're the type of person who doesn't talk a ton, then you most definitely have to try this. And sadly to say, this won't work overnight. For me, it took a few months, and probably over a year. And that could be the same for you, or it could be quicker. If you want to start using this practice and you want to start slow, here's a tip for you. Just say good morning to random people. Compliment someone's hair. What's best about this practice is you don't have to talk to people that you see every day. Just talk to a random stranger at Target or something. You'll probably never see them again, so why would you truly care? And it's not like you need to drive to Target just to do this. You could be anywhere and practice this. Whether you're out on vacation, you're at the park, or wherever you're at, I guarantee you there's probably other people that you have not met once in your life. So go try it out. And I do want you to remember one thing. A lot of the comments you think are all in your head. And I really doubt that's what other people think. So after the video ends, imagine yourself living a life where you're not afraid. Not afraid to talk to people. Not scared of what people think. Imagine how easy making relationships with friends will be. And also how you can strengthen your morale. You have so much less things to worry about. And I promise, if you're able to find the formula and get this down, you're going to love life so much more.